It's not bad.
It's good, huh?
Hey everybody, back for another brew day. This time we're going to be trying to do a Julius clone. So for those who don't know, this is a super famous beer for this style. People line up for hours and hours and hours to try to get a couple. I believe they've got a maximum of two that you can get at a time. Very famous beer. So this, the recipe that we're trying today, it's got a few interesting parts to it. Pretty simple grain bill. I forgot to mention as well, if you do want the recipe, obviously we're showing it here. If you do want the recipe, just subscribe to our channel. We'll get a notification and we'll ping you the recipe. In addition to what you see on the screen, we're also going to be tracking the notes and the things that we kind of found along the way. So the grain bill is pretty straightforward. The hops that we're using here, we swapped out Apollo for Columbus. We can't get Apollo where we are. There's a couple of interesting parts about the hop stand. So it's chilling down to 42 degrees and a hop stand for 60 minutes. The salts here are pretty straightforward. An interesting point is we actually shot the mash-in video before we done this video, and we added half the amount of phosphoric acid, so 2.6 mils instead of 5.1, and we actually hit the mash pH of 5.2 pH. So that's interesting. Brewfather calculated it to be twice as much, and wasn't the case. So the yeast, we're using powdered yeast on this one. Again, I know there's other recipes around that use the liquid yeast, but I thought this would be.
I think it's nice to mention most of the recipes you find out there is they use London 3.
Yep.
But this recipe we got from a magazine, and the guy got a lot of medals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, It's a word recipe, but he used dry yeast, 3 different dry yeast in different proportions.
I guess from that yeast as well, the interesting part of this is the fermentation profile. So pitching at 21 degrees, letting it cool gradually over a 60-hour period to 18 degrees, and then essentially leaving it there for a couple of days, and then adding the dry hops depending on yeast activity. And of course, we'll include videos about our kind of how it kind of has happened for us. I guess no aerating of the wort, no need to rehydrate the yeast. From what we read, it's they want to kind of put the yeast under stress. So I guess this will be an interesting one. I guess the water profile here, this isn't exactly, it's very, very close. Brewfather wasn't able to get it exactly to where we needed, so we needed to go in there and enter that manually. Thanks for the guys who kind of helped with that process. And that's it, really. Looking forward to getting this going. Let's get going.
Yeah, we're going to show you some shots for the mashing, hopping additions, fermentation, I believe.
Dry hop, yeah.
And then we come back at the end of this video for the taste.
Nice. See you soon. Okay, mashing in now, 69 degrees for 60 minutes, and then 10 minutes mash out for 76. Just making sure we don't get any dough balls in the mash. And we're back in 60 minutes. So we've just brought up to boil. I ended up with a little bit higher than 27 litres pre-boil, but I'll show the gravity now, which is, I'm shooting for 1053, and I got 1050. Just about to add the first of 4 hop additions during the boil. So we have Warrior, 14 grams, 60 minutes, and then Columbus at 20 minutes, which is 15 grams. We've got 21 grams of Citra at 15 minutes, and then another 15 grams of Columbus at 10 minutes. So we'll come back after we finish the boil, do another gravity reading, and then we'll chill down to 42. Okay, so we just finished the boil. We're now cooling down via an esky full of ice. And the gravity here is supposed to be 1063, and it is, so we're bang on. A quick look. So we've got ice in there with a submersible aquarium pump, just trying to bring the temperature down to 42 for the hop stand. Just about to add the yeast. There's no need to aerate, and there's no need to hydrate the yeast. So I'm just going to, we're down to 21 degrees. I'm going to pitch the yeast, and then over the course of 60 hours, reduce it down to 18 degrees, probably like a 0.5 degree every 8 hours. I'll do like half a degree or something like that. So I'll jump in there, seal it up, and report back in about 60 hours time and see where we're at before we decide whether to dry hop. Okay, so it's the end of the 60-hour period, so we've gone from 21 degrees down to 18 degrees gradually, 0.5 at a time, and now it's Tuesday morning. We pitched yeast on Saturday afternoon. So the most significant thing, I guess, is the colour change. Here's a side-by-side when we first put it in the fridge prior to pitching the yeast, and here it is last night. Quite a significant colour change there. You can also see, took a sample and took a side-by-side from someone doing an actual review of the Julius. And you can see the colours quite close, I think. Okay, so the gravity is 1.020, so it's 83% done. The recipe calls out for the first dry hop to be done 4 to 5 days after that, but I'll probably do that a little sooner. So now currently at 18 degrees, we'll let this go. I'll do another video when they do the dry hop and show the process to dry hop from the Fermzilla. Okay, so this is Wednesday morning, just about to do the dry hop. Last night I measured it to the gravity to be 1.012, so it's 93% done. I'm going to do the first and the only dry hop in the Fermzilla using the collection jar, and I'll just show how I'm doing that. Okay, so I'm just purging out the oxygen. Purging out the oxygen on the Fermzilla. The collection jar, I've been doing this for about 15-20 seconds. I'll pressurise this to about 20 and then let out all the pressure in the top. Make sure the oxygen out and then pull the lever, and that should shoot the hops up into the solution. So just the last little bit of purging. Okay. So now that's at 20 psi. Gonna let out pressure at the top. Okay, and then pull this, and you should be able to see this shoot straight up. So you can see all the hops just shot straight up into here. You can see the rest of them. It was a little bit wet when I first put this in, so there's a few stuck on the bottom here, but most of the hops have shot straight up into solution. So then I'll purge out any oxygen that's been introduced from here. I'll set this at 5 psi, sorry 3 psi, which is what I've been fermenting at. I'll purge out any oxygen that could be in the top here. And get my spunding valve, which is set to about 3. It's going to be it's going to let out a little bit because I've pressurised it a little bit higher than what I kind of should have. But that's that blow tie spunding valve kit is set to about 3 psi, so that should naturally drop, and then we're good for the dry hop. So here it is in the glass. It's been forced carbing for about 5 or 6 days, so maybe like another day or two is needed. But what do you think it looks like in the glass, Raphael?
Oh, it looks nice. It's not completely clear. It's like nice and hazy as expected. It looks a little bit slightly darker than you see on the photos, but not too much off. The head is quite nice as well, nice and fluffy. A little bit off-white. It's good looking beer.
Okay, so there you go. Switch it around. Should we give it a smell? It's not bad.
It's good, huh?
Yeah, on the website we said we're looking for mango, peach, passion fruit, a little bit of citrus. I definitely get the citrus, a little bit of mango in there as well.
Yeah, there's a bit of mango. All the different kind of fruits you expected.
Yep.
I try not to look at the website, try not to cheat, but there's a lot of mango.
So 72 IBU is what we're expecting, so a little bit of bitterness there.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's all kind of hops. There's like a fruit hops, citrusy hops. There's a bit of dankness as well.
Yeah, I get a bit of the dankiness. Yep.
Yeah. Should we give it a try?
Should we give it a try? Yeah.
It's good.
It's nice. The bitterness is coming through.
The bitterness coming
bit of body
through,
bud as well, right?
Well, unfortunately, we can't taste the real deal here. It's really hard to get. Hopefully, we can get the hands on this beer in the future.
Absolutely.
But I'm not sure if it's exactly what you expect. It does have a bit of bitterness. So for those people that like a New England IPA, but not too much when it's just like fruity. This one has a little bit of bitterness as well, which is quite pleasant.
Yeah,
to
I
be
think so. I
honest.
think it's nicely balanced with the bitterness with a little bit of body behind it as well. The aroma's coming off quite nicely.
Good thing about this beer is I know the amount of hops you use in this beer,
Yep.
and there's no astringency,
Yep.
which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when you use more than 200 grams per like 20 liters, very often you get all this like astringency or like grassiness, like
It's
harsh.
not there, right?
It's not there.
Yeah.
It's nice and smooth. Yeah. What's the percentage of this one?
This is 6.8%.
So that's the original one.
That's the original one, and I
did
think
you-
I come in at like 6.7.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. Fantastic.
This is good. I enjoy this. Nice to have a full keg. So we're going to leave it there. This recipe here is quite different to the ones you see online. The other kind of major recipe that you see online, we're going to probably give that a try in the future as well. But please, if you want to see it, comment. If you can like and subscribe, help us do more of these videos. We want to bring you a whole bunch of kind of clone recipes, but also some of our own in the future as well.
Yeah,
So please, like and subscribe, and we look forward to the next brew day. Cheers.
Cheers.